What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So I don't know if anyone's gonna ask, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it anyway. That way, if there was somebody that was going to ask, I'm gonna get it out of the way right now. The reason why these lights were yellow throughout this whole damn rebuild is because my app got disconnected and I could not change the colors for some reason. It was just not letting me. It wasn't letting me do anything. I was messing with it for so long, and it just wasn't letting me get, reconnect to them. So that's why it was yellow throughout the whole video. I don't know if anyone was gonna ask, but that was the reason. Obviously, today we did a Los Angeles Clippers offseason release rebuild after they got eliminated by the Phoenix Suns, and I gotta tell you, this rebuild turned out very, very well, and I love how it went. The big story this offseason is gonna be all about Kawhi Leonard. Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna stay? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys hear my opinion when you guys watch the actual rebuild. But we did a lot of good moves here. We did a lot of good things here, and I feel like we made the Clippers legitimate championship contenders in this video. And I feel like some of the things we did could actually happen in real life. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to obviously smash that like button, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 19,000 subs, and of course past 19,000 subs is 20,000 subs. So if you want to join the sub train, would greatly appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. For now, go ahead and enjoy this Los Angeles Clippers realistic rebuild, my friends. The Los Angeles Clippers just lost in 6 games to the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals, and unfortunately they have to turn their attention into the offseason because of injury. There's a good chance if they were healthy, they could have made it to the NBA Finals and possibly hoisted up a Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of this year. But unfortunately, like I said, they are turning their attention to the offseason. So the big story with the Clippers this offseason obviously is going to be Kawhi Leonard. Now, most of us, including myself, thought when they were down 0-2 to the Dallas Mavericks, I thought, oh my goodness, this could be doomsday for the Clippers. If they lose in the first round, what is Kawhi thinking? He's like, I don't want to be here anymore. But I have a good feeling since the Clippers did go on a run to the Western Conference Finals, and we're literally just 2 games away from an NBA Finals appearance, and Kawhi wasn't out there. I have a good feeling, obviously every indication has been that he's wanted to be in LA. There's only one other LA team in LA, and that's the Lakers, and obviously he doesn't want to play with LeBron or whatever, and I don't even know if the Lakers could pull that off right now anyway. The Clippers are going to be the team I feel like Kawhi is probably going to stay with. Now, I don't know if Kawhi's going to sign like a 5-year max contract or anything. I could see him signing like a 1-year, a 2-year, or a 3-year with a player option or whatever it may be. But I feel like Kawhi is going to stay with the Clippers this offseason. Obviously, there's some other guys the Clippers need to focus on. Paul George, although he's had, he had a really good postseason. I didn't love the way he played in Game 6. He just didn't seem very aggressive, and maybe it was fatigue or whatever, but to me, it seemed like Paul George was treating this game like a regular season game in October versus the Sacramento Kings or something, just because I didn't see him being all that aggressive. I would have loved to have seen him be a little bit more aggressive. Serge Ibaka was not healthy for these playoffs, most of the playoffs as well. Marcus Morris did the best he could. Zubac. Beverly, although, I like his competitive spirit, I kind of hated what he pulled off with the Chris Paul thing. Reggie Jackson had a very, very good postseason, and he definitely has earned himself some money this offseason. So that is somebody I thought the Clippers, going into this, I would have said that the Clippers are going to be too worried about re-signing Reggie Jackson, but based off the postseason he had for them, I think that's the guy, that's a guy they're definitely interested in having. Cousins, I don't know what they do with him if they want to keep him. He definitely would come out there and have some good strides. Luke Kennard, I imagine, is a guy they definitely wouldn't mind trading away, and I do. With that being said, Batum, I want to resign as well. With that being said about Luke Kennard, is I feel like the Clippers do have the ability, obviously with the amount of salary they have, whether you throw Beverly, Kennard's contract, Terrence Mann, and your pick or whatever for somebody, they do have the ability to grab someone. Now, it's not going to be anybody crazy. You're not going to get a Damian Lillard or Bradley Beal. You don't have enough assets for that, but maybe, if you really wanted to, I feel like you could call up Houston, and Houston might be fine with getting rid of John Wall. Now, I'm not saying I'm doing that today. I'm just saying I think there's a chance that the Clippers could pull off a John Wall trade. Now, I don't know whether they'd be interested in that or not. I'm not going to do that today personally because I feel like I've done that in the past. I don't want to do it again. So John Wall, I feel like is a possibility for them. They threw all these salaries together, and then maybe threw their 25th pick in there. And then if they wanted to trade Terrence Mann, they might be able to do it without trading Terrence Mann. So that's a possibility. Maybe even Russell Westbrook from the Wizards. I don't know if you really wanted to go that route. But personally, I think the most important thing is just retaining a lot of the guys. You can even go maybe bark up Indiana's tree and see if they would give you Malcolm Brogdon, who would be a really nice point guard. It feels like Malcolm Brogdon would fit in a lot of places though. So personally, I kind of like the rumor that was kind of addressed before the season started, or it was kind of the trade deadline. It was the, you know, the Terry Rozier Charlotte Hornets thing. Terry Rozier's on a 1-year deal, and he played very well in Charlotte, and he could be a very nice player for the Clippers. So there's a trade I want to make this offseason 1000%. Let's just get that out of the way. But going into draft night with his 25th pick, you know, the Clippers could draft here or whatever, but I feel like so some of you may say like, oh, the Clippers can't trade their pick, but I think when you go into draft night, you can actually trade your pick no matter what, even if you have the step-in rule. If you have your pick on draft night, you can trade it. I think that's how that works. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to make a trade, whether it's for Terry Rozier, John Wall, or whoever it may be. We're going to make a big trade here to add a third playmaker / star to this team. That way we can kind of furthermore, you know, show Kawhi we're committed to winning, and also show that we want to win a championship and try to get another player here. The Charlotte Hornets are going to go ahead and give me Terry Rozier. So basically what I gave up to get Rozier, we did a trade where it was Luke Kennard, our 25th pick in the draft on draft night, Daniel Turu, and 2 second-round picks for Terry Rozier. So the Charlotte Hornets get really good value out of Terry Rozier. They take on a young player in Luke Kennard. His contract isn't the greatest, but as far as the Clippers are concerned, we get ourselves either a good 6-man, another playmaker, another ball handler. I like this. I really like this acquisition for the Clippers. I don't think it would cost a ton. Like I said, John Wall is a guy that I feel like they could maybe get, and he might not cost a ton just because of his contract, his injury thing. But I don't know if the Clippers would really be interested in that. So a guy like Terry Rozier, that was kind of a rumor anyway. I really love the idea of that. Let me know what you guys think of that. But I really like the idea of Terry Rozier coming here and just being another guy the Clippers can kind of have on the roster to rely on outside of Kawhi and Paul George. And, you know, like I said, Rozier is a really good scorer as well. So with that being done, we're going to go past the draft, obviously, because we don't have a draft pick anymore. We're going to go to player options. Kawhi Leonard declining is obviously a big deal. So then you got Terrence Mann. Of course, you can accept that. And of course, you also don't trade Terrence Mann in that Terry Rozier deal. You definitely want to keep him around. Serge Ibaka and Kawhi Leonard, of course, are 2 important free agents. Actually, there's a lot of, you know, there's 4 free agents I'm definitely wanting to keep here. And we do have bird rights on 3 of them. And we should have bird rights on Kawhi, obviously, as well. I think we're going to be able to re-sign him. Serge Ibaka does want kind of a big payday. Honestly, I could see a world where Serge Ibaka just takes, I think he has like a second year on his contract where there's a player option. I could see him accepting that. Batum, I think, is a big guy, you know, definitely a guy you would want to see back. So I'm gonna give him like let's give him like a 2-year deal. Reggie Jackson, again, like I mentioned already, I think he could get paid this offseason by someone, but I think it's probably in Reggie Jackson's best interest to literally just come back to LA. I think it makes a lot of sense. He played really good. And then of course you got the Kawhi Leonard thing. He always loves to go to Detroit. Personally, I think Kawhi in real life might just say, like I said, sign a 1 or 2-year deal or a 3-year deal. Nothing like a crazy 5-year max, but for some reason, he loves to go to the Pistons on here, so I have to give him, you know, as much as I can. So, with that all being done, we're going to re-sign these 3 guys, of course, and then you got the Serge Ibaka deal as well. I don't know if Serge would get this much money, but since I do want to keep him here with the Clippers, I'll give him, like, you know, maybe, like, I guess we can 2 years, $16 million. I mean, we definitely are fine paying the luxury tax. We're a championship, you know, desired team. So with that all being done, that might be all we can do. So Beverly, we keep around. Definitely, you love Beverly's competitive spirit, so I definitely don't mind keeping him around. So you have Beverly, Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Terry Rozier. So what I think the Clippers can do, they could either be fine with having Terry Rozier being a 6-man, or they could start Terry Rozier in the backcourt at point guard if they really wanted to. It really doesn't matter to me. Personally, like I said, I think Reggie Jackson did a great job. I just don't know how much you rely on him to maybe be like a good regular season player, although the Clippers aren't too much worried. You know, I wouldn't say the Clippers are too worried about the regular season. They're more worried about the postseason, obviously. But with that being said, I'm probably just going to leave Terry Rozier as the backup shooting guard just because he's an 83 overall there. Then we'll have Beverly still starting because that's basically what usually goes down. So I kind of want to fix some things before we go past player progression, because I know Reggie Jackson is going to go down like 3 overall. So we're going to fix that because obviously he's been really good. There's some other guys on here that will just go down like crazy in overall. So peak end ages, I got to fix some real quick. And I feel like, you know, obviously the overall isn't going to reflect on what we would see in real life from these guys. So let me fix those real quick, and then we'll get into the rotation, and we'll kind of see what this team can do in season number 1. While fixing this peak end age for the Clippers, there were so many that were just so messed up. Like, they had Paul George's peak end age at like 29, and obviously he's still playing at a high level. No matter what you say, no matter the memes or whatever you have to say about Paul George, he's still playing at a very high level. Although sometimes he does disappear, most of the time he is still a very good player, and it just doesn't make any sense, obviously. So we're gonna throw on top potential of Zubac, and then we'll throw the other one at a 25-year-old Terrence Mann. And then now we'll get into this rotation for the next season. So when you look at things, they got Reggie Jackson starting at point guard, Paul George at the 2, Kawhi Leonard at the 3, Marcus Morris at the 4, and Serge Ibaka at the 5. Terry Rozier off the bench as a 6th man, and they got Zubac, Beverly, Nicholas Batum, and Terrence Mann. I'm totally cool with all that. We're gonna run a 10-man rotation, I guess. Proficiency wise, we're sitting at a 3.5 balanced system. But like I said, yeah, the peak end ages on 2K are just so broken. They're so dumb, and I'm glad we were able to, I guess, fix some of them. So Kawhi, Paul George shot tendencies are great. I'll throw Terry Rozier in there as well because I want him to be a really good 6th man for us. Marcus Morris, get him some shots up, and then Reggie Jackson, him too, man. Beverly, obviously his shot tendency doesn't need to be anything too crazy, and I think we're content with this. Yep, we'll be cool with that. We're gonna go ahead, man, and simulate season number 1 with this newfound roster around Kawhi and Paul George. Do we find new success with guys like Terry Rozier coming in and guys coming back, and people have found themselves with Kawhi being out? We'll see what happens. Hopefully by the end of this, we're still a contender in the West. But hey, in 2K, you never know what's going to happen. You're going to have teams like, whether it's Utah or Denver, that's going to care about the regular season a lot. Maybe even the Lakers are up ahead of us. And, the Clippers, sometimes they just kind of sit back and relax in the, regular season. And then, in the postseason, it's kind of when they try to turn it up. The Clippers had a very weird postseason this year to where they would go down 0-2 and just to turn things around. They did that twice, obviously, against the Mavericks and the Jazz. And the Suns, they kind of... they didn't do it, I guess, to the Suns as much as they did to the Jazz and the Mavericks, but it was just still kind of funny how they always went down 0-2 and then won a game. But Chris Paul is on the Pistons, so that's something for you, I guess. And then as far as All-NBA teams for us, I was kind of looking to see if Kawhi made one, and he did. Okay, so Kawhi made an All-NBA 3rd team, All-Defense 1st team. And we don't get a Kawhi appearance on... Or yes, we did. I'm stupid. Kawhi Leonard is on All-Defense 1st team, and Paul George All-Defense 2nd team. So that's good. And then obviously 51-31 on the season, like I mentioned. So yeah, LA was ahead of us. And then of course the Pelicans were ahead of us. They're just freaking stupid overpowered in 2K. Player stats wise, we had 24 from Kawhi Leonard. Okay, what are we doing here? 20 points. So we're in a... Okay, so Paul George averaged less points than Terry Rozier. That is definitely a problem. I love that Terry Rozier averaged 20 points per game, but Reggie Jackson 13 is nice as well. Wasn't the shot tendency just like a massive difference? Yeah, I mean, Paul George was a 90 and Terry Rozier, like, do I need to... Okay, I'll put it at like a 78, and Paul George will put you at like a 96. Is that what we need to do? Because we don't need Terry Rozier scoring more than you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to average 19 points per game in the regular season. We definitely would love to see a little bit better production out of you. And then we're kind of going to short this to a 9-man rotation as well, just because I want the best players. They want to start Terry Rozier in the playoffs. I'm totally fine with that. They got Nicholas Batum as well in the starting 5. I'm not sure how much I love that, but hey, here we are going up against the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray, Cam Thomas, MPJ. This is a healthy Nuggets team as well, so... who knows, man? The Nuggets could have definitely competed for a championship this year with all the injuries that were going down, but obviously they were victims of that. So, can we beat them? Game 1. We're up 1-0 to start things off. 34 from Kawhi, 26 from Paul George. So that's the Paul George we want to see, obviously. 19 points per game ain't going to cut it, man. It's not going to cut it. Game 2. We're up 2-0. Good start. 28, 18, 16. And then Nikola Jokic 23 and 15. All right. Game 3. We're up 3-0, 26 from Jamal Murray, 25 from Kawhi, and 3-1. Okay, so 30 from Jamal Murray, 25 and 21 from Kawhi and Paul George. Can we close them out in 5, please? Yes, we can. We're on to the second round. Do we finally get the Battle of LA? Yes, we finally get the Battle of LA, man. We've been waiting for this for so long, and yeah, we're not getting it in real life just yet. Could happen. 3rd time's a charm, maybe. But here, hey, at least here in 2K, we're getting it. Dennis Schroeder, man. Apparently, this guy's asked for 100 to 121 million in the offseason. Like, I don't know where he thinks he's getting that. I doubt the Lakers offered him that much money. They gave him as much as they would have. before the season started. Andre Drummond always gets paid by the Lakers as well. Of course he does, because, like, you know what I mean? What else are the Lakers going to do in 2K? They got nothing else to sign. So, yeah, this could be definitely a tough task. But, I mean, looking at the playoff stats real quick, you had, you know, Kawhi and Paul George definitely stepping it up. Terry Rozier 13, Serge Ibaka 14. So, here we go, man. Battle of LA happens. Game 1. They're up 1-0. 24-8-11 from LeBron James and AD. 37-10 from Kawhi, but it was not enough. Game 2. We do even it up. So 29 from Davion Mitchell, which is very nice for him because obviously he's a rookie coming in. And a leading scorer in a Game 2 playoff situation is very nice. Kawhi 17, Rozier 16, Paul George 33. Game 3, we're up 2-1. 36-6 from Kawhi, 23-6 from Paul George. Can we take the 3-1 lead here? No, it is a 2-2 series, so it's definitely a back and forth affair. All right, man. I think we simcast this one for sure. We simcast for this one. It's in LA, of course. You know, you don't have to move very far, but here we are in Game 5. A Game 5 lead, a Game 5 win here would be absolutely extraordinary. We blow them out by 22 points. Okay, well, here we are in Game 6 in LA, of course, and then can we make it to the Western Conference Finals, get past the Los Angeles Lakers here? It's looking like a close game, but we are going to beat them in 6 games to go on to the Western Conference Finals to either play the New Orleans Pelicans or the Dallas Mavericks. Personally, I'd rather play the Mavericks here, but unfortunately, we get the New Orleans Pelicans. So, Pelicans, as we all know, are pretty OP in 2K, so I would not be surprised if I cannot get past them. So, yeah, hopefully our luck will just kind of turn our way. But here we go, Game 1. We're up 1-0, start things off, so that's a good sign. 28-8 from Brandon Ingram, 28 from Kawhi, 25 from Paul George. So, maybe I had the shot tendencies just right, where things are going my way. Game 2, we're up 2-0. Okay. 27-20. I mean, if we can beat the Pelicans, I'll feel pretty good about our chances. 2-1. Okay, it's a 2-2 series now. Okay. All right. Well, here we are in New Orleans for a Game 5. Can we take the 3-2 lead here? It'd be very, very important to do that. We're kind of blowing them out. As long as no comeback. Yep, there we go. 24-5 from Kawhi. All right, man. Here we go. Game 6 in LA. We take care of business. I want to. And we go on to the NBA Finals, where the Clippers should have been, you know, a couple years, you know, 122-140. We're in the NBA Finals. And funny enough, we're playing the Charlotte Hornets, who we made a trade with. They have LaMelo Ball. Luke Kennard is out here balling, I guess. Let's see. What is he doing for them? He is averaging a cool 9 points. So they have LaMelo, Luke Kennard, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, DeMarcus Cousins, Dinwiddie. So that's a nice 6-man signing for them. I'm definitely interested and curious to see where Dinwiddie is going to go this offseason. Hey, who knows? Maybe there's an executed sign and trade to where the Clippers find a way to land Dinwiddie. Who knows? All right, man. Game 1. We're up 1-0. I feel like we should beat this team, but you never know with 2K. So game 2, we're up 2-0. 39-10 from Kawhi. Game 3, we're up 3-0. And game 4, nope, just kidding, not yet. Game 5, no, come on, bro. All right, we won a championship. I was about to say, let's not go to a Game 7 once we're up 3-0. Los Angeles Clippers, just like that, won a championship in our very first season of rebuilding them. We were the 3rd seed, came in with a healthy roster, 28 points from Kawhi Leonard, Finals MVP Kawhi. That is a great, great way for this video to go. But I'm not going to end it off just that. So we'll go ahead and run one more season. Draft lottery time. Obviously, we're not going to have a pick here. It's going to go to the Thunder from the Paul George trade, obviously. So staff signing. Tyronn Lue, obviously, we're not going to get rid of. I think the only thing I might do is just sign up, a different assistant. Sean Lee, we don't need that. A good trainer, because personally, we don't have a lot of young players anyway. Although 3 training camps are still nice to have, I know. But I'm definitely like, look at how old this roster is, and we just won a championship. So obviously, maybe players will start to decline here now, but I don't know. Rookie signing with we might have had a second, probably not, right? Yeah, we did not. So no picks at all. Zubac has a $7 million team option. We're declining it? No thanks. I'm accepting that 1000%. And then qualifying offers. Mir Coffee is a free agent. All right, do we have any important free agents? Terry Rozier, obviously, and then Patrick Beverley. So I think Beverley, we can kind of just say we're fine with not bringing him back. Rozier, though, was probably very important for our playoff run, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and give him a 4-year $86 million contract and be okay with that. Just won a championship. Definitely wouldn't mind having him back, of course. So Reggie Jackson, you have Paul George, Terry Rozier, Luke Kennard, or not Luke Kennard, Kawhi Leonard, Terrence Mann, I don't know why I'm thinking of Luke Kennard, Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, and then you still have your center. So I think This point, the only thing I'm really interested in is maybe getting a point guard. I see Beverly. We could just re-sign Patrick Beverly, or we could go with like a nice 3-and-D wing of Gary Harris, backup shooting guard maybe. Yeah, let's do that. We'll sign Gary Harris to a nice deal to be our backup shooting guard. And what we can do personally is probably move Rozier does go down 2 overall, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, I'm gonna move him to point guard anyway. Just gonna move him to point guard. His potential is still an 84, I think. So we'll have Terry Rozier start at the point guard this year for us. Paul George, Gary Harris, Terrence Mann, Kawhi, Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, and boom, just like that, we're excited for next season. Going into player progression, we have Terry Rozier going down 2 overall, so that's unfortunate. Terrence Mann is up. Nicholas Batum, although it says he's up, he's not really up, I don't think. And then Paul George and Kawhi aren't going down like a ridiculous amount. Kawhi does start to go down like crazy because I think his peak end age was at 29 as well. And I imagine Kawhi will at least be good until he's at least like 32, right? Maybe even further than that. So, yeah, I was comfortable with changing some of these peak end ages. I wish 2K would be more consistent with that because not everybody starts to suck at 29. They literally have almost everybody just, hey, they're going to suck at age 29. Let's go ahead and make sure they just start going down in overall. So, yeah. All right, man. Now we go into our rotation for this next season. Terry Rozier, Paul George, Kawhi, Marcus Morris, Serge Ibaka, Zubac, Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, and Gary Harris. For efficiency-wise, we're sitting at a 4-star balance. I want to look at shot tendencies one more time. So Kawhi and Paul George, I like where that's at. Terry Rozier, I'll throw it up to like a 78. Ibaka, Zubac, Morris. Yep, I'm loving it, man. We're going to go ahead and simulate to this end of season number 2. Can we repeat as champions, or are we just going to be a team that just won 1 championship? Up as the 6th seed in the West. So MVP Embiid, Chet Holmgren Rookie of the Year, Killing 86 man, defensive player Giannis, Isaac Okoro Most Improved, and Frank Vogel Coach of the Year. So honestly, I'm not too surprised by the drop. I wouldn't, 2K is one of those games where plus our roster is very old. Our roster is very, very old. 15. I ended up having to move Tier 0 back to shooting guard just because, like, I don't know, man. Like, this team just started to, like, suck. So I was like, maybe we just need to move him back to shooting guard. Maybe I shouldn't have changed anything. I'm going to run an 8-man rotation for this postseason, though, just to give myself the best opportunity to possibly win this championship, just because I have a bad feeling we're going to get knocked in the first round here. We're going to go from that team that just won a championship to just getting thrashed in the first round. And yeah, look who we get to play, the Pelicans. So yeah, I'm not feeling too good about this. Somebody current round against Pelicans, and okay, it is a 3-2 series. It's not too crazy. Maybe, just maybe, we force a game 7 and bring this back to New Orleans. Let's see what happens. And okay, we're gonna blow them out here, it looks like, for game 6. So forcing a game 7 on the road in New Orleans. Do we get past the second round here? Come on, man. Dial it down, buckle it down. Come on, baby. Let's force the Pelicans out of the, okay. I can't believe we're fighting for our lives in the first round after just winning a championship. But hey, it's a close game. It's a very close game. I kind of want to jump in at the same time. I'm jumping in. Screw it. 28 seconds left. Let's jump in. I can't believe I'm fighting for my life here. Just get out of the first round. The Pelicans unfortunately have the ball. Thankfully, there's 28 seconds left on the clock. I should probably off-ball this just because I feel like I'm going to fail. Yeah, I'm going to go to Morris. Although I probably shouldn't be guarding Zion just because, you know, they probably want to move him on a screen or something. We do have a timeout, so I got to keep that in mind. Okay. So Carlos Jr. is just going to hold the ball, of course. They're going to get a screen. And yeah, what do you know? I kind of just absolutely okay. Well, you guys saw what happened. All right. I think I'm just going to drive with Kawhi. I feel like that's my best answer. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So 6 seconds left on the clock. Of course, this is probably going to go to overtime. Unless if I get a steal, which I'm not going to foul. That would be dumb. Actually, they could definitely score the game winner here. Kerry Lewis, if he makes it. Okay, well, GG's, guys. That's just, okay. Well, the Pelicans were the better team, I guess. They were the better team. At least we want to change this video. I'll say that. Wow, okay. Wow, the Clippers are the only team I know that can go from winning a championship just to getting knocked in the first round the very next year. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely smash the like button if you did. I definitely had a lot of fun with this one. The Clippers will be back. They'll be back, man. And hopefully next season there's not as many injuries. And this team just, like I said, comes back better than ever and is ready to go on their championship run. And not to mention Kawhi getting a Finals MVP with his 13 would be a lot of fun too. So thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. guys.